Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Nobunaga's Ambition, Sphere of Influence on the Mysterious JG. I don't know why I'm putting this pressure on myself. Like, if I start, like, not manually controlling battles and just playing super aggressive, and I devote the rest of my afternoon to this could be the session where we wrap up this Let's Play. It won't be this video, though, and it probably won't be this session. I have to really... Because I like this game. I like the long viewers of making the domestic decisions and maxing out my cities, and... the combat in this game could be more interesting. Again, like, by the time I was finished, I really enjoyed the combat in Taishi because it made things exciting. I didn't understand it fully, but, like, there were situations where you could win without having the numbers, and you could lose even when you had the numbers. Like, you really had to think about morale and some other things. Like, part of me wants to play through Taishi again, even though this new Nobunaga's Ambition game just came out. So I don't know when I'd ever get back to Taishi. But this is the one whose domestics I've enjoyed the most. I kind of wish we could combine the combat of Taishi to the domestics of this game. But we'll see what Nobunaga's Ambition Arising or Awakening or whatever it's called has to offer, because that's probably going to be immediately after this Let's Play, the next one I pick up. But another thing we'll be picking up is Nisho Palace and the Imperial Capital and the Shogunate, basically. And we'll be picking that up right about now. It seems Takeda Clan was able to reinforce us as requested. Oh, okay, good for them. They actually took Asamiya Castle. Like, right now. So that's one more blow to the Miyoshi. You know, wait, JD. I was about to start checking on my forces in the north, because I think it's about time to rain hell down on the Buddhist warrior monks. I think Ishiyami Temple being their final base of operations would be cool, because I believe that's the one... That's the one that Nobunaga famously, like, set fire to the fucking forest surrounding the mountain and had mass civilian casualties. I think that was Ishiyami. Or no, it's Honganji. Where's Honganji? Yeah, Honganji's the name of the group overall. But I think Ishiyama is the really famous incident that earned him the Demon King reputation. So it would be kind of interesting if that was their final base, but it won't be unless I start attacking them in the north very soon. Nisho Palace is the surrender. Seems like this battle is ours. All their base and the Shogunate belong to us. Since we've grown stronger, Katata tribe has sworn allegiance to us. So that's the most important thing that's happening right now. Capture Nisho Palace accomplished. Enemy officers were captured as well, it would appear. We're finally here. Phew, tough battle after tough battle. Say, Masakage, what's got you all silent? Never thought I'd see the great and fearsome leader of the Red Brigade shed tears. You're one of the most ardent communists out there. Why are you crying? It's the death of modern labor, my liege. We finally made it. Indeed, it was a long road. Since the day I excelled my father and took over the Takeda, I have lost countless men from my inexperience, my foolishness. Yet I did not stop. I lost my strategist, my brother, my son, my daughter. And yet, still, Kanzuke, Nobushige, are you watching? Can you see our flag waving over Kyoto? Everyone, put our flags all over the city. This is our offering to all those who have fallen on the way. The Takeda's march was a success, and Shingen had finally made it to the capital. Though many had died in the battles along the way, thanks to Shingen's knack for seeing through people, as well as his ability to bring out the best in his followers, and symbolized by his famed "people are the stone walls, people are the castle" words, he achieved victory. They say on this day the Takeda flag was placed everywhere in Kyoto. Except this date never happened. This is fictional history at this point. And in the center and the main force of the Takeda army was the flag that had inspired fear in the hearts of their enemies, flying higher than any other. Fast as the wind, quiet as the forest, daring as fire, immovable as the mountain. Quest, the Saijo plan accomplished. I've obtained the shutout trait. With this new power, I shall take this nation. Alright. Nobunaga? What do we want to do with you? I've got these troops here now. Okay, so obviously, Lita's grandma heads home. I think we push the fight against the Miyoshi. At some point, the Hatano? They got 3 cities, one of which is really good. So I think we do want to take them out rather than trying to make friends. It's a question now, do I want to do that now or just leave that until after I'll probably knock the Miyoshi off of Honshu before I start finding other people to pick fights with in this front. So that being said,
leave it to me.
Arioka Palace seems like, and I'm kind of glad that Nobunaga didn't like jump up and be the guy who got to deliver the voice. Like, he has unique voice lines, so I should be using him as much as I can. But I think it's just as well he doesn't get to suddenly take over and be the guy who's doing the talking when we're going after cities that it's blah. Natsuko Sasaki did, and Lita's grandma, did the work of taking over Nijo Palace, so it's just as well. Maybe I'll put the Shogun, like the exiled Shogun who became one of my officers, maybe I'll put him in charge of Nijo Palace. That would be kind of fun. But, like, I also like the idea of just him being a regular officer with no perks whatsoever. Because his loyalty is pretty low. Trying to get that's hex, yes.
Acknowledged.
Because I don't want to get distracted fighting my way through those guys. I don't want them being caught up behind the Makishima Castle fight. I want them to maneuver around and go after Limoriyama Castle.
Yes, my lord.
And that's the other thing, like, Masako Hayami, that is a fucking monster army. I think that may be a higher troop count than Natsuko Sasaki had when she started. And she's taken the Imperial Capital and has her troops knocked down to half. So actually, no, she had a larger army. But Masako Hayami, who's like a brutal combat general, has a monstrous army just like marching down to do whatever we can before we finally feel like we need to back down and restore ourselves a bit. Meanwhile, Zerfal, Lethal, and Agmon are going to take out Nashishiyama Castle and the Wakasa Takeda, like whatever the hell their deal is. Oh, see, Wakasa Takeda, and that's not... So they always have the force name. Yeah, I get... Sometimes I wonder, like, oh, I hope that's the correct force name. And it's not... No, it's like Ishiki. Ishiki, it's always the force, so... Use the force, Luke. Alright. And in fact, the Honganji still haven't quite taken over this... Oh, but they're about to, because I guess these guys had their last troops defeated. So they're going to take this, and then these guys are willing to become our vassal, but I think what we actually want to do is just take them out. Take their castle for ourselves. Seems brutal, but it's the correct strat at this point. We've got a church that can be changed, and if it can be upgraded to cathedral, I need to just upgrade it to being not a church, and that might improve our conservative bona fides.
If you need me to,
We'll help you.
If you need me to, we'll help you. Not created officers. I could let this one just go for once. I think he may be one of the Miyoshi trio, but I get confused about who is and isn't in the, quote, Miyoshi trio. It's a concept I became aware of playing Kessen 2, but they show up and keep along this path, we'll end up fighting the Ishiki clan. Eh, fuck them. Oh, wait, I accidentally selected the thing that would cause me to not fight them. So where are we going instead? No, we're still going through. We just have a oh, we have a truce. Alright, Zerfall, we'll watch your fight.
Advance!
Now, they've built up some defenses here, so be careful. Yes! Yeah, baby! Well, wherever they are, they're going to try to sneak up. No, they're not going to sneak up. They're just going to be right there.
Leave it to me.
Ghost coins, of course. Defense down, raises attack. Like, why does he have ghost coins? I don't remember. Let's go with Warcry instead. It says greatly increases. It's got the, but it's the same symbol. Alright, let's just go with right. We won't use ghost coins because we don't want to increase our own losses. She's lowering the attack of enemies in the front. Now he's going for Warcry too. No fair. Well, Zerfall's unit might be pretty heavily depleted by the end of this fight, but at the same time, this is their main army, and we have 2 units coming up behind. Yeah, we've basically gotten almost completely out of their rifle and are just beating them up now. Now I can unlock ghost coins. Do I need to? No, there's no particular reason to. I could charge him to finish it fast. Yeah, let's just do that. Zerfall may not be part of the Castle Siege. He might just be the guy who beats their army in the field and then goes back and lets others handle the Castle Siege. Although this didn't really go to our advantage that much.
How humiliating.
In the rouse trait. Yeah, because these units here are actually... We got 500 troops with about 500 left in their... Yeah, that was their army. So we got a truce with these guys. If we have to fight them in a moment, so be it. But right now, we've got enough. Agmon, Morand, and Lethal have enough. So we'll have basically... Zerfall just defeats the army of the fake-ass Takeda in the field. And the others come up and take care of the Castle Siege while he goes home to, you know, practice the speedrun strats. You wipe out their army before you actually engage the castle. We seem to have won this fight while that one was going on. That's fine. Alright. Yeah, like, if this army can at least get the,
Onward to the battlefield.
Get the Miyoshi clan knocked off of Honshu will be fine. But this was coming. Who knew this was coming is when it was going to happen. On September 1568, Date clan formed anti-Takeda coalition to defeat Takeda clan. We can't let this opportunity leave us cold. Destroy Takeda clan in one fell swoop. Terrible news, my liege. Date clan has formed a coalition against us. Let us gather up clans that will lie with us during council, my liege. Kono clan was eliminated by Trezukabe clan. That's the Konlu spirit. Kono crush, brother. That would be these guys. Okay, so Shikoku is now split between the Chosakabe, who I'm trying to use diplomacy on, and the Miyoshi, who are definitely going to be part of the clan that is against us. So it's the pro-Takeda clan is just us right now. The anti-Takeda clan is the Osaki and the Ashina, who are both just neighbors of the Date, and the Date, and the Satake, who are neighbors of the Date, and the Yuki, who are neighbors of the Date. The Kidabatake are pro-Takeda coalition. Uesugi didn't even join the coalition. In my previous playing off-screen, they formed the coalition. This time they get knocked down so low they're not even in the coalition. The Asakura and the Wakasa Takeda joined. We're not hostile with the Uesugi right now because I attacked them and then like enough time passed that we're neutral again, so that's why they didn't join. Honganji and Miyoshi are anti-Takeda. Nobody else joined, other than our vassal state, nobody joined our coalition automatically. Even the Hojo, with whom we have a permanent alliance. So that just goes to show you how much the Hojo care about. Like, they got really mad because we had a three-way alliance going. Hojo, oh, what were their names? They're not the Ashina. The Toyotomi, not the Toyotomi. God damn it, the guys who were down here. Whose leader is depicted in Samurai Warriors games as being this, like, weird paint-faced guy who's obsessed with foosball, like Japanese foosball. I can't remember what they're called, though. They had the Matsudaira as their vassals. But anyway, we wiped them out. And the Hojo attacked us super briefly. Like, we had one fight with them, and the Hojo were like, okay, okay. And then immediately offered a permanent alliance with us. Like, okay, okay, we understand now. When allied with you, you have to take care not to show weakness or you'll turn on us instantly. Now that we understand that, we'll just make sure not to collapse on ourselves. And in fairness, they didn't collapse on themselves.
We
All right.
march. We'll help you.
Makishima Castle says to surrender. This battle's ours. This battle's, as in thing that belongs to the battles, our win. He's gained the rouse trait, and the reckless trait, and the reckless trait, and Ano tribe is sword allegiance.
Enemy officer captured.
Now the Tsutsui tribe is kind of like, well, not a tribe, they're a clan. They're in awe of us. They would be willing to join us, but I think I'd just rather take their castles for myself. So that is what we're going to do. Since you guys faced almost no resistance there, let's just have you attack the Tsutsui. We'll wipe the Tsutsui out. They've got...
Yes, leave it to me.
I don't know if Sakon is... Well, his daughter's in the game, so he must be in the game. Sakon Shima is a, you know, as you would expect, a really good officer. Is he worth conquering an entire clan just to get Sakon on your force? Maybe. We're doing it because, again, I'm now at the point where we just have to start rolling up castles so that we can get the warband ending, because we've done all the story. There's nothing left to do except concentrate on winning the actual game. There's no fight going on here, right? Yeah, we need to get to Nochishiyama Castle. It's not just another castle, folks. Nochishiyama Castle's something special. Atsuko Sasaki, who's been getting a lot of screen time the last couple of videos. Let's see her lead the attack.
Moving out.
For some reason, again,
Yes.
the other units that were part of this attack don't get to be here for this.
Just leave it to me. Follow my lead. Watch how we do
He is
battle.
concentrating. Let us snipe. And then go with ranged attack. It really is a very short-term boost, isn't it?
We will join you.
Now who's joined us? Whoever it was, they joined me, not them. But, I don't see them, so what the hell? Oh, well. So next domestic turn, we got to put some people in charge of Nicho Palace and immediately start rebuilding its walls. Shoot an enemy right in front of their castle. What the hell? Knock it down. Let's just make these... I know for a long time, I'd been like, let's not do that. Let's make sure we save the money. But now it's like, let's just make sure that if these forces get depleted by counterattacks, they can still win the sieges. Although nobody's going to counterattack them, JG, because they don't have any neighboring Miyoshi groups that aren't already under attack. It looks like the... Oh, you are not the capital of that force, so I can't use you to figure out what's going on. Oh, no, never mind. They're in a coalition now. I was about to say they don't seem to have an alliance going with the Honganji anymore, because the Honganji didn't come to help. 1500 troops steaming their way over here. Is that a boy or a girl? Who knows? Steaming their way over to be completely ineffective against the troop counts that I have deployed. Hattori Hanzo, you're a fun character, but you're not a created officer, and you've got like a 4-to-1 advantage here. So let's just let that fight play out. Yeah, the one to be careful of, because there's so many freaking hit points. If to take Ishiyama Temple without knocking the walls down would save me a lot of money and be kind of fun. Western Cupulation? Ruffle, ruffle, ruffle. Do you know of it, my liege? No, I don't. I haven't even heard of it. Up until now, the crafters of our land have had difficulty with taking out the copper that is mixed with the gold and silver. However, using Western Cupulation allows one to take separate gold and silver from copper rather easily. We do it more efficiently and create a smaller version of the Western technology. This will allow us to sell copper, gold, and silver at their respective prices, reducing our losses and increasing our profit. Yeah, the problem is the voice I assigned to Grimmeth in this game is really similar to the Shingen voice. And from the name, I can imagine we'd need to beg the Westerners to teach it to us. I wouldn't use the word beg. Indeed, my liege. Building quarries aside, we must also obtain a port suitable for trade. This is one of those quests that doesn't pop until really late in the game, and I never finish it before winning the game. The sword one is the same. As the name suggests, Western Cupulation comes from the west in the latter half of the 16th century. Advanced refining method will increase our mine income. There's no reason not to pursue it. But yeah, like you have to get 4 more quarries. Well, if that happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And capture and maintain 2 trade ports. So, I've obtained the Earthwork Expert trait. No one can stop me. Except, of course, Shingen, who already stopped you. Gain the flight controller trait. Picked up the first strike trait.
Your orders,
Templar.
reporting in.
Hanzo and his ninja warriors are fighting some,
Here's last month's
people.
balance.
We spent more than we made. It's a real shame.
Reporting in.
Inui Castle is filled with development fully. We got some horses. Various tribes now support us. Quite a few people have gathered at Tsuchigasaki Palace. Hey, Vulture Bronco found a mine and a vein. Does that count? That's not a quarry, though. Yeah, see, now, Kalinowari Sanada, if you were as clever a ninja as my nephew is, you would have found... you would have found all sorts of shit. The fact that it didn't exist for you to find, I blame you. I couldn't find anything at various castles. Oh, man, Vulture BB. I thought you would have bet some mines, and Vulture Bronco had the sense of like pretend a bunch of shit exists that I'm not gonna go check on personally. Yeah, we couldn't find anything in any of these places except the first one I happened to read about, which got me all excited because it appeared to have 2 things: a mine and a vein. Now, I don't know how those are 2 separate things because you build a mine to mine up a vein of ore, but whatever. I guess it just means that a mine had already been built and that I don't need to build one. Alright, so there's things that needed doing. So we have diplomacy going with these distant forces, but that doesn't necessarily mean things are happening rapidly. Again, I could just get I could get the Tsutsui to join us. I could get them to be a vassal, but at this point, I'd rather just grab their castle. Same thing goes with Matsunami. I think it was the right move just to move things along to get the Kitabatake clan as a vassal rather than conquering them outright. It just got us to the Kyoto portion faster. I think we will send a treasure... Because the Chosakabe are going to be useful if I can get them to join the coalition, because they'll attack the Miyoshi from behind. Maybe even I'll just leave Shikoku to them. Although, honestly, I need the cities for my city count to win the game. But the Nanbu are going to be really important to just applying pressure to the Date. So let's throw a gift their way. Give them... I think that's one of the swords we need for that quest. So let's give them a horse. Here's a Palomino. A Hosho Palomino. From your friends at Hosho Horses. The Hosho horse brands. Hosho Palomino. Great mileage. So it's economical. It's also great for getting the groceries home. Getting the kids to soccer practice. So let's give that to a wonderful treasure. I'm sure they'll like it. Let's get that to the Nanbu just as a way of like heightening the pace at which they we gain affinity with them, because there has a minimum score we're going to need before I can get them to join the coalition to destroy Date Mania. Those guys could join, but I think we're just going to take their cities instead. So let's get the Hojo fighting, because it's ridiculous that they're not already in our coalition. Yeah, I think it's got to be over 60, because the Tsutsui, whose like trust has just gone up on its own because they're in awe and we've been fighting their enemies. And, you know, like, again, we could get them to join us. In my off-screening, I often did that. But I think I'd just rather get their cities and pad out my city count. So we'll invite the Hojo at least, because it's silly that they're not already part of it. In the meantime, we need to get people in charge of our new castles, including Nijo Palace. Put him in charge. He's an overseer right now. I think putting Yoshiaki in charge, but just making him a regular retainer and not the shogun, is fun. It's like, this guy knows where the brooms are kept. Let's send him there. Also, his loyalty to us is now quite high, and despite what we know about him in game or in reality, he's the guy who begged Nobunaga to help him take back Kyoto, and then Nobunaga took Kyoto and used him as a puppet, which is all he could honestly have expected. And he immediately started betraying Nobunaga. So we will repeat Nobunaga's mistake, except that because of the way the game works, I know, in fact, it's not a mistake this time. I shall take on the role, my liege. So he's in the middle of something, so we... See, this guy looks like some kind of capital shogun type of dude. Just looking for who would be interesting to have in charge over here. This Saito girl, who's got a decent... Oh, I want somebody with a decent poll score who's not already up to something. And the idea of, yeah, what am I doing? I usually just give it to somebody from down here who's really unhappy with working for us. So you've got a decent score, and you're... He's actually pretty good overall officer. And he's not already a overseer or lord. No, he's already a lord. And his loyalty is that low, huh? Kakagawa, I think, is just the place where a bunch of recently captured officers are. All right, well, we're going to want to finish we're going to want to be near the end of the turn before I do investigate, because that way I'll send officers who aren't busily working on something more important. Nijo Palace is a good palace, and a good palace. It's a good castle, obviously. So we should get some halfway decent people there. It may end up being just a bunch of... Wow, everybody's poll here is garbage because it's just the guys that have been captured from the Oda and didn't get put anywhere else. Now this place, on the other hand, Shaman would not be bad up there, except that I kind of... It might be more valuable to keep him over here, because my long-term plan is, in fact, to set up a AI-run second district over here to just like to maintain the balance while I try to basically push across Eastern Honshu to finish the game. And the Uesugi, I feel bad. They were neutral towards us, like a weird coincidence. All the conflict we've had in the long run with the Uesugi, they just happened to be in a neutral position towards us when the coalition moment hit, which means they didn't get drafted in. We're still going to take them out because they you know, it would be weird to win the game as a Takeda and never defeat the Uesugi. It'd be like playing through some kind of like role-playing story as the Autobots, and you manage to win the game without ever actually defeating the Decepticons. It's kind of they're supposed to be diametrically opposed forces. It's time to call it a video. Why am I still playing? Because I want to make sure I at least take care of this before we wrap. And I'll do the same thing. I'll come to the city that has the good... There's so many garbage officers sitting there in that one city because we've already distributed anyone useful out of that group. But we'll just grab a few more guys out of here. Because these, I think, are the Azai officers who don't, you know, they overall, like, unless they really had other reasons to hate us, like they were super progressive, they'll get a bit of a negative loyalty thing for a couple of years because they are from a recently defeated clan. But as far as like working for a powerful clan, that's usually a loyalty boost, and that's going to be pretty powerful. And all the things I could get that just always give you a loyalty boost, like, you know, those policies are already in effect. They're in the house, and they're in effect. All right, policies in the house. When we come back next time, guys, we're going to keep winning the game, because right now we're pretty much winning this game. But we're in what should be the final phase. Like, with the coalition in place against us, you can weather the coalition storm and then expand, or if you're powerful enough, you can expand during the coalition. In the RPG games that feature a coalition, when you get too powerful, historically, the ones I've played that feature the coalition mechanic, you just have to struggle through the coalition against you and try not to lose too much before the coalition eventually fractures. But in this game, the event that triggers the coalition is you have reached the point of being unstoppable, and it's only then that the AI teams up against you to try to stop you. So I kind of wish that, and it specifically taking Kyoto as a big coalition trigger, because that's what triggered the coalition against Nobunaga in actual history. I would think if like a coalition could trigger a little earlier because you're getting too big for your britches, that would be a thing that would make the game more challenging. But it's not, so it's not. Catch you guys next time.